What's up, fifth rounders? This is Tom, checking in with Gabe Ruediger over here at Team Quest training facility. Gabe, thanks so much for letting us interview you.
Thanks for coming down.
We were checking out his training session. Dan Henderson was actually here just a second ago as well. Just want to take a couple minutes of your time, talk a little bit about what's going on in your life, your thoughts about what's going on in the MMA community, and see where we can kind of go with anything I can answer.
Yeah.
Well, can you kind of tell us about your upcoming fight, your opponent, and everything?
I'd love to.
Fight a little bit.
I'm fighting in the Eyebrow in San Francisco at the Cow Palace, October 20th. I'm fighting a tough guy named Gabe Rivas. He's fought in IFL, King of the Cage, a lot of the smaller organizations. But the IFL is a large organization. Tough guy, man. I think he's like 16-10-4 or something like that. But guys like that are game, and I think that every time I fight from this point forward, I'm going to have a target on my chest. Everyone wants to knock out the fat kid from the Ultimate Fighter. Come on. I know the last guy I fought, I saw it in his eyes. He wanted to kill me from the get-go. You know what I mean? Like, if I beat him, then I beat the fat kid from Ultimate Fighter. And then I'm not taking Gabe lightly at all. I'm training, doing my conditioning in the morning, doing my running mid-afternoon, and then coming in and getting beat up by the team at night, getting thrown on my head by Dan, and going through I'm in here every day. I'm not. I think that because of the target, I have to be that much more sharp. I have to be that much more on my game because I think they're going to bring it. So apparently it's going to be on pay-per-view, and I think that every fight I have that much more to prove now, and it's great. It gets me to go in there and fight and do my thing, and that's it.
Do you watch tape on your opponents before the fights? Is that something you do extensively?
I do.
Planning for their game.
I do a little bit, not too much. The thing is if you watch tape, maybe they're changing up their game. Maybe that they see their weaknesses and they're changing their weaknesses. I have to worry about me. And everyone has a game plan, and as soon as that you get in the ring, it changes. What if I'm going to go in there and I'm going to take him down, and his whole thing is to sit back and wait for the knockout shot. You know what I mean? So he's counterpunch. He's changed his game. Now I can't do that. I got to go.
So you'd rather work on where you feel that
exactly.
you have space to grow.
I have an idea of where he is, and what he does, but I have an idea where my strengths are, and that's really what it comes down to. I want to work on, all the aspects of my game, get it stronger, but in the end, I want my strengths to prevail.
What's kind of your game plan going into it?
I'm gonna bang him with him a little bit. Haven't had a chance to mess with my hands enough. People think because like the Melvin fight and the Hermes fight that I can't throw. So I'll probably throw down a little bit. But I'm suspecting to be a submission in the first round.
Nice.
My jiu-jitsu is where I'm the best, where I feel like I can take anybody out. I'm comfortable everywhere though. Unfortunately,
the
guys
on point for sure.
Yeah.
Working on Thailand is no joke.
Yeah. Thailand was. Those guys are insane.
Beartex centers.
Beartex, at 6 o'clock in the morning, you have these 4-year-old boys who are running with no shoes for miles. 4 years old. I'm like, that little kid's, he's outlapping me by at least 20 minutes. I'm dying, and he's running through. Ridiculous. Thailand was no joke. I feel very comfortable. I've been training Muay Thai for a long time. I'm working boxing a lot. I'd like to see where the fight goes, but if it's anywhere like most of my fights, it'll probably be a submission.
Do you know who's going to corner you for that fight?
Yeah, it'll be Heath Sims and Joe Sarkeesian, both of our striking coach here.
Yeah, we met Heath just a second.
Yeah, but Heath has been my corner for my last 3 fights, and I think he's chief corner for me. Cool. We got Ryan Parsons and Heath Sims. Both those guys are kind of the behind the scenes trainers for Quest. People don't. Heath has a little more notoriety because he's in the Olympics and has actually fought. But Parsons also is another guy that he's our nutritionist. He's our primary coach who runs the practices. He's an integral part of our team.
So Sarkeesian, does he do mostly strength and conditioning for most of the fighters here?
Striking. No, Ryan Parsons does our conditioning too.
Gotcha.
Ryan Parsons does our conditioning. Joe Sarkeesian's our kickboxing coach. Ryan runs a lot of the practice as well. So.
What did you think about Dan's fight against Rampage, and then kind of how was his demeanor actually? After, did he recover quickly and things like that?
That fight. Of course, I'm going to be biased. I think Dan could have won it. I think Dan won 1 and 2. 3 was kind of a toss-up round, but I would give it maybe 3 and 4 to Quentin, and then 5 was another toss-up round. But I'm not a judge. I can't make the decision. It goes to show. Dan walks in. He walked in probably after eating 2 meals at 204. He's a small the weight class is 205
for a lot of people.
Dan's an animal. People don't understand
just to be able to go up from competing at welterweight to competing at that level
he knocked
with those
out
guys
Vanderlei.
is crazy.
You know what I mean? Like Vanderlei Silva got knocked out by a wrestler. I think Quentin. It was Quentin. In the end, you know what? You have to take the belt away from the champ, and I don't think Dan did enough to take away the belt. But I think he could have won the fight. If they fought again, I put money on Dan. But he came back, and he
comes back hard too.
The funny thing, Dan is so mentally strong. Some people when they lose a fight, they're devastated. And for losing that fight, you figure that was for the UFC. That was a big fight for Dan. He was okay with it. Obviously he wasn't happy. He wasn't like, oh yeah, this is great. But he was, he was mentally strong. That he took 2 weeks off, spent time with his little baby girl, and he's back training with us. And Dan's the type of guy he'll fight anybody. He's not afraid. He'll step up and fight anyone.
It's good motivation.
He's awesome.
Has there been any rumors about who his next opponent might be? Or
there's been a couple of things around the camp, but I'm not his manager, so I can't really. I'm definitely not the type of person that can throw stuff out there. But yeah, there's talk about Dan fighting and fighting soon, and I think whoever Dan fights, they're in trouble. A lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Especially with some of the names that I've been told. If that's the case, then.
Vanderlei in December, possibly.
I'm not. You never know what's going to happen out there. But obviously, again, I'm biased. But Dan, phenomenal wrestling, great ground, great standing,
Class act.
hard he's got strong fortitude. He's class. Personifies class act. There's a lot of guys out there, and I'm sure that there's a lot of fans that think that there's certain people that their persona, their public persona is as the good guy, the Bible reader, the family man. In reality, they're the biggest scumbags if you know them outside of the camera. Dan is not one of those, and that actually, I was actually saying this, like Chuck Liddell. The one thing I respect about Chuck is he's like, yeah, I like to party, like I go out, you see me with different girls. I respect that. He's honest about it. Like, there's a lot of guys that are like, oh no, I'm with my family, and they turn around, they're like hitting on every chick, like partying super hard, and it's like, where's your Bible now, douchebag? I have a difficult time with those guys that have their persona, which isn't reality.
Gotcha. Well, last question. Is there a final, message you want to send to your fans? What we can look for from Gabe Ruediger in 2008 coming up?
Yeah. First and foremost, I just want to thank everyone that supported me. My team, not for 1 second has Team Quest, faltered and gone with the crowd of haters that I've had. So I've got to thank them very, very much. Also, just everyone that supported me through, the hard times. And I never thought I was going to fight, as a pro. That was never my intention. When I first got into this, I love doing jiu-jitsu. I love doing kickboxing. I went and did one MMA fight, and here I am, years later as a professional. I never thought I was going to get to this. So those people that have supported me, thank you so much. Includes my sponsors, Sinister, Fairtex, Tap Out, 40 Thieves, On the Mat. Go check out the website, GabeGodzilla.com. Go to the forum. There's plenty of news, and I put a blog up every week. So that'd probably be the best way to get a hold of me. You see my sponsors on there. Thank you to you guys for coming out, seeing the camp.
Thank you.
Thanks to the readers. That's it.
All right, cool.
All right.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, fifth rounders.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Yep.
All right, man.
All right.